Hello, Cindy. Oh, yes, we have a brave peacock. Yes, yes. Hi. Oh, you must be Veronica.
Yeah, how did you know?
I've read that you have studied the yoga for 5 years.
Oh, well, I mean, just off and on, before the kids.
Oh, nonsense. There is such thing called the muscle memory. And I could tell by looking at your gait, your muscles remember. Oh, yeah, that's good. That's good. Very nice posture. Yes. Encouragement. Jason! Encouragement! Yes! Do it! Yes! Encouragement, my friend. Like that? Yes. Good job. Encouragement. Yes. Great job. There, you need to find your mental equilibrium. No, money. It's okay, it's okay. Know your limits, yes? There is no giving up in yoga, Encouragement, yes!
Okay, you guys, that is probably my favorite movie ever. My husband and I will sit and just crack up at the whole thing. So I hope you enjoyed that little segment, but I hope it also kind of like clicked up here what I'm trying to portray with showing that clip. And it is exactly what he said, encouraging, okay? Sometimes we get so busy working our business that we forget to encourage and to recognize our team members. And I really think that's one of the most important things in our business is to make sure that you are, recognizing people for the work they're doing, for the input that they're putting into your team as a whole, because you really can't accomplish anything in this business by yourself if you want to get far. I mean, if you're just doing it to earn that, few $100s a month, then yeah, you can do that with parties by yourself. But if you want to build a team and make this a business, you can't do it alone. And so you have to be encouraging your girls so that they have the support system and they feel like they are wanted and that what they're doing is important and that somebody actually is seeing the efforts that they're putting in and recognizing those. I don't know if anybody has read this book. I actually haven't read it, but I have a lot of friends that have, and we talk about it occasionally. And so that book is called The 5 Love Languages, I think is what it's called. And there's a quiz online that you can take and just, Google 5 love languages and it'll come up. But there's 5 different love languages that it talks about. There's words of affirmation, quality time together, physical touch, gift giving, and I'm trying to think what the last one was. I'll post them on here or something. But we're not talking about our love lives in this video, but we're people. And it's not just love, it's how we feel recognized and appreciated. And that's something you're going to have to learn with your teams. Something I learned really early on was not everybody felt appreciated and loved the same way. I know when I started, my appreciation and love was I thought was incentives, okay? Because anytime somebody offered me an incentive, I was like gung-ho, I was going to get it done, which would make you think that I was the gifts type person. But when I took my quiz personally, I'm actually the words of affirmation and the quality time together are the 2 things that were most important for me. And I realized that, yeah, when I get these incentives, I don't really actually care about the incentive. But the thing that I cared about was that somebody put thought into recognizing my accomplishment. When somebody did something to show me that they appreciated what I was doing. So that really went hand in hand with that words of affirmation. I like to think I've got pretty good self-esteem, but maybe I don't. I don't know. But I know that that's really important to me. If my husband will write out a letter that tells me, how awesome I am as a mother or a wife or, how good of a job I'm doing or tell me, that means more to me than I think anything else. And so when you look at your team members, you have to kind of start to feel them out and figure out what drives them. What kind of stuff encourages them? What's going to make them do better? So, for example, when I first started, I really kind of got in like this cookie cutter leadership habit, okay? I thought everybody was driven by incentives. I thought everyone was driven by not necessarily pressure, but reminding them like how close they are, what they need to get done. And what I realized is some people don't like the stress of having to make it to certain quotas all the time. Some people do much better if you're saying, hey, I've seen what you've been doing this month, and it's pretty awesome. I am so proud of you, and I just know you're going to make it to that next level before you even know it. Sometimes that means more than, here's a free sheet of wraps if you make it to $200 this month, or whatever the incentive is. But you also have to remember that those incentives sometimes are so important to this other half of the crowd. So my biggest challenge to you is to start trying to recognize people on your team, to start trying to train them and encourage them in the way that they will respond the best to. Something that I challenge you guys to do that I've been trying really hard to do this past couple months is in the beginning of the month, I like to recognize people who have jump started and are already active. I like to recognize people in the middle who've also done that same thing, are active, so around the 15th. And at the end of the month, I like to recognize people who are active, also those high sales ladies and those high recruiters, because that recognition really, really does a lot for somebody's self-esteem and for their work ethic. They want to work harder when they know somebody is appreciating them and when somebody is there to support them. Another thing is try not to only recognize those people who are getting high sales and lots of recruiting. If you've got somebody on your team who's posting awesome collages for people to use, thank them for it. If you've got somebody on your team who likes to help post the important information like, you know, trainings that the company's put on or whatever, thank them for it. You can recognize them on the page for that kind of stuff too, because those kind of things help out so much, and that person is trying and going the extra mile to be an awesome team member also. So all of this in a nutshell kind of goes back to what we talked about that first training, and it's about building relationships, getting to know your team members, getting to know what type of people they are, what kind of things drive them, how you can better help them, and all that kind of stuff. But recognizing their strengths and thanking them for it is huge in leadership, because like I said before, you can't do this alone. You have to have a team with you, and that team needs to know that they are 100% supported and that you are over the moon grateful for everything that they do to help out. I hope that was a little bit earth-shattering for you. I know it's a simple concept, and we're going to get into some deeper, more like training things here soon in the next couple of videos, but we're starting off with the simple, most important things that anybody can do as a leader. So let me know what you thought. Let me know what resonated with you on the comments below. And until the next video, we'll see you in a while.